But let me start off by saying thank you. Thanks for joining us in this brief demonstration of how bannersolutions.com can simplify your workflow as you look for products, look for specifications on products and information and ways to just more effectively and efficiently do business online with us. We're very honored that you joined us and are happy to be able to walk through this with you. My name is Ben Smith. I'm the Chief Digital Officer here at Banner Solutions. And just to kind of give some context here, I'll say that about a year ago, we began talking with our customers. It started as a conversation with a number of different customers from throughout all of the different channels we serve. And included in that, we're definitely a handful of locksmith customers who we talked with to begin to understand the challenges that they face in doing business with a supplier online and in doing business in general as a locksmith. And so from those conversations, we began to build out a platform, an idea for a platform and ideas for functionality on our website that would make things more efficient for those customers and address some of those issues as our customers face them. So when we were talking with our locksmith customers, there were a few recurring themes that kept coming up in terms of efficiency. And the first one was really around making alternative product options kind of clear and understanding what other options might exist out there for the type of product that I need to solve this particular challenge. We'll talk more about that and how we address that on the site. Another one was really around driving efficiency through online account management. So what tools can we build out and present as a part of our platform that make it a little easier to run the business that you do with us through this online platform. So we'll dive into some of the tools that really enable that. And then the last thing was making sure that finding automotive products was simple and easy to do. While not every single one of our locksmith customers services automotive, many of them do both. And so we wanted to make sure that the platform felt as effective at automotive as it did at the more traditional mechanical products that we serve out to our customers. And so those are the three primary pieces that we'll talk about as we move through this demonstration. Again, open to questions as we move through and certainly suggestions and ideas too. If you have them, don't hesitate to share. So with that, we'll just kind of dive right in and we'll talk about how our platform makes it a little bit easier to understand what alternative product options might be out there. And I'll start by kind of talking through our product search. There are multiple ways to find products within our platform. The primary used path is through our search. For anybody that was accustomed to the old bannersolutions.com, this search functions in much the same way. As you begin to type, results will pop up, and as they pop up, then you can select them here, or you could do a search and see the full listing of results that attach back or tie back to that. Search, again, this is something that was very important to us, is to maintain the way in which it worked from the last platform to this one. So if that was your primary mode of operation within our platform, it still works very much the same way. But we've also added to that some efficiencies around filtering. So you can add multiple facets here. So I could say, in the example that I just gave, 40/40, and I could say I want that to be in door controls and the manufacturer's LCN. And basically that's just going to assure that the results that I get at the opposite end of this search, at the retrieved end of this search, are filtered against those manufacturers and those categories. I'm not getting anything else that may have had a 404 in it or a 4040 XP in it. Not that there would be a whole lot of variance there, but this does allow you to very quickly kind of dive into the product. The other pathways that we allow for on this are really shop by manufacturer and shop by category. And within categories, this is one of the primary ways that you can kind of begin to find product alternatives that maybe match the same fit and need for the products that your job requires. So shop by manufacturer is fairly straightforward. And I'll just briefly mention, if you click onto a particular manufacturer, you'll see the subcategories of products that they offer broken down. And instead of loading multiple pages, this allows you to just very simply click into the subcategory of products that you're looking for. And if you want to view all those products, obviously you can click that link. But that's shop by manufacturer. Getting back to categories, I know I have a challenge in front of me. I need a specific type of hardware. One of the examples that I like to give is, a surface vertical rod exit device. Maybe there's some discretion, and we know the problem. We know what it needs. We need it to be fire rated. We need it to be 4 foot. That's a different kind of path than saying I need this specific, exit device from Von Duprin or whatever. In this case, it's here's the problem, here's the specifications. So I'm going to go ahead and just click into that subcategory of products. And this is going to retrieve a listed result of everything that is within the surface vertical rod exit devices. And from this, then I can begin to apply additional filters that enable me to very quickly narrow in on the options that I might have. So in this case, let's just go ahead and say we have some autonomy in here to determine maybe it could be chrome, it could be stainless steel. We'll select a few of them. Could be aluminum, and we'll keep them generally in the same color family, but apply those filters and click apply. And you'll notice that this 1,187 got cut well in half down to 512 results. And now at this point, I've got, even within the top 3 results, I've got a few different options, but I haven't applied my fire rating yet. So we'll go ahead and say apply fire rating. And that's going to take us from 512 down to 130. From within this, I can actually look and see how many manufacturers are represented in that list. And there's still a fair amount. But again, focusing in on fire rated, the other element that we talked about was adding in 4 foot, and we'll say 42 or 48 inch here and go ahead and apply that. And that brings us down to just 57 results. The nice thing about this is that ultimately I can see I've just got a handful of options, but it does allow me to see within those options what manufacturers are represented. I know that, I've achieved, the 4 foot, aluminum, chrome, depending on what level of autonomy you have to make that decision, or level of flexibility you have in making that decision. That one shouldn't be in there. Go ahead and click that out. In making that, then you can narrow in on some results that make it a lot easier to understand what options exist within any given type of product. So that's how we use our shop by category and apply filters to really narrow in on options. Now, the other thing that I'll mention, you can see in this listing of results, I've got 1 in stock here, I have none in stock here. Well, if this is a time sensitive issue, this one does me no good. I don't even want to see that result. So what we've done is we've added this show in stock products only filter. Now by applying that, and you'll see it says, hey, you need to apply this. So I'll click the apply button. That anything with 0 stock will disappear. And now I'm just left presented with the options that are available. Again, 4 foot fire rated surface vertical rod in the finishes that I've selected, and are they in stock or not? And from here, now I can begin to make a selection. We're down to 22 results. So we've gone from literally thousands of options of surface vertical rod exit devices down to just 22 in a matter of just some simple questions answered in terms of what's the finish, what's the length, is it fire rated, is it not? We've spent a lot of time building out the attribute data behind these products to make sure that all of these filters and facets are extremely useful to our customers. I'll also mention that within the context of, let's maybe try a different product here. I'll do a search for a CL 3357, and I'll apply a category filter of commercial locks and the manufacturer of Corbin Russwin. We'll do a search again. You'll see these results are filtered by those 2 facets that I put in there. I'll go ahead and say I want just the satin chrome. You'll see these results will update. We will say that I'm looking specifically, well, I've already selected that. We'll say we're going for a lever style of the NZD Newport design, which is a popular one for us here. And then I'll go ahead and click into this product. I mentioned that we want to make it clear what other product options are available. This feature will continue to expand over the course of time, but I really want to call out these two areas, or three areas: buy it with, you might also like, and series options. Buy it with is essentially when this product sells, it's pretty common that this product will sell with it. And there's some improvement for us to do in this. And as it exists on our site for longer and longer, I think these recommendations become even better. It's in the early going, but the idea is let's present some other products that are commonly purchased with this particular lock. That you might also like, and this is one that I think is particularly useful, is I know that I'm shopping. I know that the user is shopping at this point for a return style lever in satin chrome. And I know that in this case, I believe this is a grade 1 lock set. So what the site is doing here is it's saying what other options are there that match this basic design, this finish, and this grade of product, and it's presenting them down here. So you can see there's a 10 line from Sargent, again another 10 line here, and these are presented through a number of different manufacturers, and depending on the product that you're on, you may see recommendations again from within the Assa Abloy family or others. But this allows you to see some other options that fit generally the specifications. Again, it's not down to every spec. So, keyway is not necessarily a part of this, but in the general specifications of return lever, certain finish, certain function, and of a certain grade, these options are presented down here. So the idea behind this is just to make you aware of other options that would fit the need that this same product fits. Now, the last thing I'll mention is on the product details page here is the series options. This is something that I think is exceptionally useful for folks who, I know that it's the 3300 series, but maybe I don't know all of the specific function numbers for passage or privacy, whatnot. So what we've done here is we've said, let's take all the products that are within this series and attach them to these facets here. So there's a couple ways you can do this. You can actually just click search variants and you'll see in general what happens here. It's going to call up a search page with all of the CL 3300 from Corbin Russwin product variations. And there's pages and pages of them in here. Ultimately, you can, and we'll just go ahead and click back into one here. You can see I can come in here and select that I'm looking specifically for the Armstrong lever. And I need that in we'll go, since this is a passage, we'll say we need that in the privacy function. And I don't need the 5-inch backset, I just need a 2 3/4. And this one only has one option, so nothing to change there. And in terms of strike, we'll go with the ANSI strike. And I'll go ahead and apply that, and it'll perform a search. And basically it's taking all those requests that I've made and it's saying, show me all the products from within the CL 3300 series that match Armstrong, privacy function, 2 3/4 backset with the ANSI strike. And it's then presenting those options. So just 6 results, which allows us to very quickly get into the product that we're looking for. So that's the idea behind our series options within each of these pages. Hopefully that's making sense in terms of what series options does for you and how it allows you to very quickly understand what are the other functions within this same family of product, especially useful if you're having to match a spec on an existing building for a lock set that maybe you don't know the full part number right offhand, but you know the basic attributes around that product. The second thing that I mentioned is really efficiency, driving efficiency through account management. And I'm currently logged in as this is under a demo account, and this is one of our internal team members' accounts that I'm logged in as. But I've done that because this particular user has some info loaded up in this demo account, and I wanted to show you our dashboard. We're very proud of the dashboard for all the functionality that it does bring to our customers. In a single snapshot or in a single screen, you get a good snapshot of all of the different elements of your account with Banner Solutions. So at a glance, I can understand what orders were most recently placed, and then what is the status of those orders. I can see like this one was placed through the website, these two were not. I'm able to simply click into one of these orders to get the details of that order once it loads up here. I'll apologize as I'm giving this demo that we don't have tracking on this, because this is a demo account, and so we don't show the tracking numbers on this. But if this item had shipped or these items had shipped, it would show with a tracking order right next to it. The other thing I'll mention is it breaks it down by shipment. So if for some reason the order was submitted and it's gone out in separate shipments, you'll have a tracking number for each, and you'll be able to know which products are coming with which are within each shipment. So the whole notion here was to make it very clear to understand, when am I going to be getting the products that I've ordered. The other thing that we've tied into the order detail page is the ability to easily view the associated invoices. So the way that it works at Banner Solutions, and some of you may be aware of this or maybe not, is that each shipment has its own invoice. So this is a single order, but it has two shipments, and therefore, theoretically, there would be two invoices. Now, again, in this case, this is a demo account, so there is only one invoice associated with this order. But typically, based off of its split shipment, you would have two invoices, which makes things a little complicated when you're trying to tie out which orders tie back to which invoices. So what we've done here is we've added this View Invoices button on the order page that allows you to simply click this button. It takes you to the invoices page, and it's going to call up all of the invoices associated with that order number. So whether there was one or even three, you would see all three of them here, and you could understand, okay, I've received these, or I haven't, I'm ready to pay on these, or I'm not. If you've already paid via credit card, like this one was transacted, there wouldn't be any open amount, but you are able to then see all of the open invoices or all of the invoice history that you may have had. Going to go back to the dashboard, and then I'll pop back into invoices briefly. I want to show off some of the functionality of this dashboard. So within here, I have a handful of invoices. Conceivably, many of our customers would have dozens and dozens of orders. Some have hundreds of orders over the course of the last year. And in a lot of cases, it's very beneficial for them to be able to take that information and put it into their back office bookkeeping software, what have you, or even working with a tax preparer at the end of the year. So knowing that this was one of the challenges that especially our smaller business customers had with us, really making it easier to export all this information was important to us. So we've built in the ability to filter. You can choose the dates between which you're filtering. You can specify order numbers, PO numbers. You can specify, I want to export orders for just one customer or multiple, or leave it unfiltered and you'll see all of them. You can even put in a range in terms of the total. And from there, you can then select any of the ones that you want. Now, if you've done like what I've done here, I've applied no filters, I've just presented them, but I've applied none of them. I can simply click this button, click the export button, and that's going to give me a CSV file, an Excel document ready file that allows me to look at all of this information in Excel. Very easy to hand off then to an accounting team member, partner, tax preparer, what have you. So this was an important element that we wanted to include, particularly for use amongst the small business customers that we serve. I'm going to dive back into the dashboard again, talk a little bit more about some of the efficiency tools that we've built into this. We've added this new projects tool. This is useful for collaboration. It's also useful for creating lists. So if you had lists on our previous platform, they've all been imported into this platform as projects. And projects are nothing more than really lists of products. And I'll go ahead and click into one here that Travis has created. And once it updates, you'll be able to see all the products that we have in this list. Where this is extremely useful is if there are recurring products that you like to order on a regular basis. If you have products that you typically get from Banner, it's a good place to build these out because you can just quickly access the My Projects list. And you might call it, commonly purchased or favorite items, whatever you'd like. You can name these lists however, and you can refer back to them at any point. You can select all of the products by clicking a single box here. You could select just the one that you need, choose add to cart, and that will actually load it up into the cart. And you'll see this little icon will update, and I'm ready to go check out. The other thing that this is useful is if you're working with one or two other partners in the business and you need to share these lists with others, you can actually come in here, click on select the list, click into the invite button, and from here select anybody else that's already on your account. So in this case, I'll add, I know it's a little bit confusing, but I'll add myself to this and click invite users, and that's going to give me a notification that user has been invited. Now, the next time they log in to bannersolutions.com, they'll see this list within their list of projects. So they're able to easily recall all the products that are on these lists. And if you're working on a facility that you routinely go back to, and there's a certain specification of products or certain types of products that you like to use on that location, you can essentially save that information in here for much quicker and easier recall. So that is our list function. I'll show you just briefly. We'll go ahead and go back to the CL3357. And I'll just do NZD 6. Oops. Oh, I'm having trouble typing. There we go. 626. On every single product details page, which this is the product details page, you'll see in the upper left-hand corner, there's an add to project button. By clicking that, selecting one of the lists, you can actually add it to, we'll put it on here, Office Park Houston. You can select that list and click add, and it will add a new one. Or we could simply type in a new title here, call it demo project. And now I've created a new project within this platform, all ready for easy recall by simply going into the dashboard once it loads up, and then clicking into projects. And you can see the demo project is here, and that product that we just added will appear once it loads up. So there you go. Now that can be easily transacted. The next thing I'm going to talk about in terms of managing efficiency is we've heard from a number of customers that there are users within their business that they'd like to be able to build out lists of products, but they don't want them necessarily to transact. So projects, along with our user management functionality, allow for this. So essentially, you can create a login for any number of people within your organization. And what's new is that as an admin, you have very specific control over what those users can do. So I'll go ahead and load up our user screen. And you'll see we have 2 users on this account. Again, I'm logged in as the admin, as Travis, and I'm going to edit the abilities that this user Ben has. And I do so by clicking on this pencil icon. Now, I can also choose to add a new user manually. So I could type in a first name, last name, email address, and the phone number, and then designate what visibility they have. But in the meantime, sorry, I'm going to hop back over here. In the meantime, I can edit any user that is already on that platform. So I'll go ahead and click into Ben here. You can see I have this role is currently set up as a general user. Admin user has access to everything, and that's the way it always works. There's an admin user who can add additional users, place orders, make payments, view discounted pricing, all of the above. a general user you can give all of those privileges to, but they'll never be able to create new users within the platform. Only an admin can do that. As an admin, then I can say, I have somebody who's really just helps me out here, and all they do is check pricing for me. I can give them the ability to just check pricing and not the ability to check out. In order to check out, you have to have discounted price visibility. So by selecting that, you will see both of those check. But maybe you've got somebody who simply performs some of your accounting and AP. You can toggle this one on and just make them, give them the ability to make payments on invoices. Now, important to remember that each general user only has access to their own information. So if you're going to give somebody access to making payments, then you need to give them additional access to users' order history, all users' order history. And this allows you to select who can they see. Maybe they can see everybody, or maybe they can only see one individual. So this allows you to really tailor the access level that each user on your account has. And if it's easiest, certainly creating an additional admin can be done. Typically, we recommend that you don't have too many admin users because it's full access. But if that makes sense for you, then certainly that's there at your discretion to use. So we've talked about orders, we've talked about invoices. The last thing I'll mention is saved addresses. This is fairly straightforward. Within saved addresses, I have an address already loaded up, and that address is going to enable me to essentially, as I'm browsing through the site, it will recall this zip code when it's doing its calculations for the availability of product. So if we'll just do a quick search here, and we'll click into this. Because I have a default address set up in my address book, when I am browsing the site, it's going to tell me which warehouse is closest and when I will get the product. If I'm interested in knowing how long that's going to take specifically, I can actually click into this view inventory ETA by location. It's going to show me all the banner locations that have this product in stock and how long it will take to get to me. So this breaks down the inventory, gives you a better idea. This particular product is not stocked in Houston for us, so my closest solution is 3 days away, unless I choose an expedited service. Now, if you have multiple addresses saved in your address book, you can recall any of them. So if there's a customer that you very routinely drop ship to, you can save those in there. Or if you have a different location that you'd prefer to drop ship to, home office versus the actual office, those can be added in here, and you can choose just very easily to understand the lead time and nearest location with that functionality. So at this point, we've talked about gaining efficiencies through the back office functionality, or the dashboard functionality of our website. We've talked about understanding the product alternatives and variants and associated products. And the last thing I wanted to talk about is automotive. Again, not every locksmith deals in automotive, but we wanted to make sure that automotive was as straightforward as finding the mechanical product and electromechanical product that we sell throughout Banner Solutions. So as we built out this new site, we wanted to come up with a way to make automotive very easy to access and very intuitive to use. This is not rocket science. Anybody who's been on any auto parts site has encountered this before, but essentially it's just a year, make, model configurator. So if I come in here, make a few selections of the year, make, and model of the product that I'm looking for, the search will retrieve any products that Banner offers that are associated with that particular year, make, and model. So in this case, we have 5 products from 3 different manufacturers. Again, very basic, fairly straightforward, but functionality that needed to be in place to make sure that we can serve the challenges that are the varying types of locksmith customers that we serve face on a daily basis. I want to just briefly call up one additional thing that wasn't necessarily in my path of travel in all of this demonstration so far. But I'm just going to go ahead and copy this order number because I would have received this on a confirmation email as a user. And I'm going to go back to the homepage and I want to show you just briefly one other tool that we've put it at on the homepage at your disposal to make it very easy to find an update or get an update on the order that I've placed. And that is this track your order functionality. With your order ID, you can actually come in here and paste that in and click track. And what that's going to do is going to hop you to our order details page, call up those products, those shipments, and very clearly give you an indication of the lead time and the products that are included in each of those shipments. So again, just one other way of making some quick efficiency from the homepage. In and amongst all of the other functionality we've built into this site, those three primary areas are ones that I really wanted to chat with our locksmith customers about today. Hopefully you found some value in that. At this point in time, though, certainly I'm open to any questions that are added through the chat, or if you have any and you want to raise your hand, we could take you off mute so you could talk. That's primarily the subject that we wanted to cover today, and hopefully it was of value to you. We do appreciate you logging on, taking the time to watch this, and more than anything else, we appreciate you as a customer in your business. I'll also mention we have an email, web support at bannersolutions.com, that is specifically a team of people that are ready to support any issues or questions that our customers have around using bannersolutions.com. So maybe no questions today, no suggestions today. I would encourage at any point in time, you viewers and any and all of our customers to reach out to web support at bannersolutions.com with questions, comments, feedback. We love to hear it, the good, the bad, the ugly, because your input helps us make an experience and a site that better delivers for you. So with that, that's the song and dance that I had for you today. Again, I appreciate you taking the time to log on. And if there aren't any questions, then I'll just thank you for joining us and wish you a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday. Thank you for your time.